Competitor research is an incredibly important part of digital advertising. And the great thing is that thanks to things like Semrush, you can see virtually everything your competitors are doing with their ad campaigns, including how much they're spending. This allows you to learn from their expensive lessons. For example, you can see which ads they've continued to run for a long time, and we can assume that those are working. But you can also see which ads they've stopped running, and we can assume that those didn't work, so you don't want to make those same mistakes. You can also see which channels they're spending money on and how that spend has changed over time. For example, if they're investing loads of money in one particular channel and they keep investing more and more and more, we can assume that they're either incredibly dumb or that channel is working really well, so we can learn from that. Likewise, if we see that they spend a whole bunch of money over here, but then they quickly stop spending that money, we can assume that didn't work so well, so we don't want to make those same mistakes. And what we're going to do now is we're going to head over to Semrush and see what sorts of tools it gives digital advertisers to dig into their competitors. By the way, if you don't already have Semrush, then you can get a free trial at thankyoninjas.com. That's thankyoninjas.com. I love Semrush, we use it all the time, so we negotiated a free trial for you if you use that URL. So once you get into Semrush, you'll see this. Now, Semrush has loads of tools for SEO and general digital marketing. What we're going to do today is we're going to do a bit of an analysis on HubSpot's digital advertising. So I'm just going to drop in hubspot.com up here, and we're going to get a bunch of data about HubSpot. Now, lots of this is going to be about their organic visibility, so their visibility on organic search, but we can also see lots of juicy advertising insight as well. So over here under the paid search traffic, if we just give that a click, we can see how much they're spending on their ads. And we can see this per location as well. So right now I'm in the UK. I'm looking at their advertising in the UK, but I could also switch this out for other countries like the US. So let's just go to the US. I can see that at the moment they're running ads against 2,200 keywords. They're generating about 96,000 visits per month from search, and they're spending about $1.9 million. Now, these numbers aren't necessarily exact, but they're a really good indication, so you can get a bit of a ballpark feel. We can see that HubSpot is investing fairly significantly into the US search market, for example. You can also see how this traffic, how their spend has changed over time. So let's just change this to traffic cost, and we can see how they've accelerated their spend over the last month. We can expand this out over time as well. So we can see that their spend over the years has really significantly increased. They're actually spending more now than they were at any point in their history. If we scroll down a bit, we can see some of the ads that HubSpot is running. So right here, we can see the keyword that they're targeting. If we hover over the little ad icon, we can see the ad copy that they're running for this keyword. We can see the position that their ad is shown on Google. We can see how many times that phrase is searched per month. So in this case, they're running a branded search ad against their own brand name, HubSpot. It's ranking in position 1, and that term gets around 301,000 searches per month. We can also see an indication of cost per click. So advertisers on average are spending about $23 per click to bid for the term HubSpot. Now remember, HubSpot probably won't be spending that much themselves because this is a branded term for them. They're going to have a much higher ad quality score, so their CPC is going to generally be lower. But if you were bidding on this keyword against HubSpot, then you'd be looking to spend around $23 per click. Importantly, we can also see the URL that the ad is driving to. This allows us to monitor our competitors' landing pages, which is great. So what can we tell from all of this data? Well, we can see broadly what HubSpot's digital advertising strategy is on search. We can see that they're basically targeting branded search. They're also targeting this phrase CRM, and they're targeting that despite it being a very competitive term. Right, it's getting around 165,000 searches per month, and they'd be looking at spending around $35 per click. So this is not a term to advertise against for the faint of heart. We can see the landing page that they're running here. We can see it looks like it might be a very specific landing page targeting this particular term. So I'm just going to give that a click and we're going to have a bit of a look and see what's going on this page. We can see this is a closed landing page. There's no menu, there's no navigation. The only option on this page is to get started free. That's the only thing that we can see. We can see they've got some video testimonials. They just repeat this call to action, get started free. So that seems to be the offer that they've settled on. Interestingly, they're not trying to generate any revenue from this at all, are they? They're just looking to get people started free and then they can upsell them once they're all signed up. Elsewhere, we can see they're also bidding on some of their competitors' brand names. So Monday.com is an alternative CRM. We can see that they're bidding on CRM software Monday. We can also see they're running some ads for email signature generator. Now, these are much lower cost clicks, around $3 per click. Because if you think about it, an email signature generator, how does anybody make any money out of that? Well, HubSpot is obviously banking on people searching for email signature generator, getting to their landing page, and then ending up becoming a HubSpot customer because either they're in charge of their email marketing or they've just got started in the sales team or whatever it might be. So this is an interesting strategy, and if we were competing against HubSpot, we might feed this into our digital advertising strategy. We can see they've got some other variations on this as well. For example, business plan template is another one of those terms which on its own doesn't necessarily seem relevant to HubSpot. But if you think about the fact that people searching for business plan templates are probably about to start a business, and people about to start a business might be about to buy a CRM, then you can start to see how it might make sense for HubSpot to target that phrase, even if they're not generating any immediate money out of each of these customers. Now, there's another fantastically powerful competitor ad analysis tool inside Semrush. If you go up to the App Center and click on AdClarity, you will get an amount of data that you thought was probably illegal or impossible. This thing is sick. Anyway, you need to sign up separately for AdClarity. It's not included with your default Semrush subscription because it uses a different bunch of data. But you can get a free trial of AdClarity as well if you go to exposure.ninja/wow. As in, wow, how am I able to get this amount of insight? So what AdClarity allows you to do is see the display and social media ads that your competitors are running. So let's do some example analysis. We're going to pretend that we're starting a supplement company, a bit like Huel. And we're going to have a look and see what Huel's digital ad strategy has been, where they're running their ads on social, display, and all that type of stuff, and see what we learn. Now, the first thing to note about AdClarity is that you can see different channels of ads. For example, I can just see their display ads, or I can see their video ads, or I can see their social, or I can just see all of those channels all in one. That's what I'm going to start with. I'm also going to have a look on all devices, and I'm going to set my time period for the last 12 months. You can choose your location as well. Now, I'm in the UK, but I'm going to have a look at what they're doing in the US as part of their US expansion. Now, AdClarity gives us some immediate top-level stats. For example, they've had 2.1 billion impressions on their ads and spent about $11.2 million on their ads in this time period. Now, again, these numbers aren't exact, but they're a pretty good benchmark that you can use to see and compare how much different advertisers are spending against each other. Also up at the top here, you have the different types of ads that they're running and how these are distributed, so where they're putting their budget. So in this case, we can see they're spending 55% of their budget on social, 43% on banner and display, and then less than 1% on video ads. And we can see that their ad buying methods are predominantly programmatic. 91% of their ad buying is programmatic. They also have some direct buys, and they're also using some ad networks as well. Now, I think one of the most insightful parts of AdClarity is this advertiser expenditure trends section. And what I typically do is uncheck publishers and go straight to spend. And what this allows you to do is see how their spend has changed over time across display, video, and social. So in this case, we can see that Huel went super hard on display ads in Q1 2023, but then they dropped this right down. And that's really interesting. If I was doing some detailed competitor analysis, I'd want to see what were those ads that they were running? What were the channels they were running these ads on? And was there anything I could learn from that, which maybe helped me save some money by maybe not making some of the mistakes that they might have made? I can see that their spend on social has remained pretty consistent, so that would give me some confidence that this seems to be working relatively well for them. They're not spending much on video, which is kind of interesting, so I'd have a look at their ads, see if they looked like they maybe didn't really suit video, or I might look further back in time to see if they've tested video ads but decided that they didn't really work. Elsewhere, we can see the advertisers that they're running, so we can see, how much of their spend, how many publishers are in each of these different channels, and how, the exact amount of change across each of these platforms as well. And then we can see the top ads that they're running. Now, you may have seen Meta's ad library. So if you go onto facebook.com/ads/library, you can see the ads that any advertiser is running. So I've just done that and I've typed in Huel here. The downside of Meta's ad library is firstly, it only shows you the ads that are live. Secondly, it doesn't give you an indication of how much these ads are spending and how many impressions they've had. So I can see their ad creative. I can see the types of ads that they're running. I can see they're using Stephen Bartlett, for example. I can see they're using user-generated content. I can see that they're explaining what's in their product. And I can see that they're running these shopping ads with a call to action of shop now. But if we compare this to what we get from AdClarity, not only can I see the ad creative, I can see when these ads were running, how many impressions they had, and how much Huel spent on these ads. That means I can find their top performing ads, and if I wanted to compete against these, I could take influence from those ads when I'm creating my ads. So let's look at this one here. We can see this was run as a display ad. We can see that it was run from the 23rd of Feb, and we can see they've spent $178,000 on this ad. So we know that this ad seems to be working reasonably well. We can also see that this ad was run on Reddit, and we can see this ad has had 72 million impressions. If you want, you can click to see the campaign's landing page, or you can click to see the full campaign report. This is going to show you the other ad creative in this campaign, so you can build up a really good picture of exactly what Huel was doing with this particular campaign. You can see how long the campaign has been running, how much they've spent on this particular campaign, again, where those ads have been shown, and all the creative that's part of that particular campaign. This is gold dust, right? Let's say that we wanted to see the ads that were just shown on social. Well, what we'd do is we would turn off the filters for banner ads and video ads, and that's just going to show us the ads that they've been running on, say, Facebook and Instagram. So here we can see, let's just click on this one and see what we get. We can see 8.6 million impressions across Facebook. They spent $48,000 on this. They only ran these ads for about 5 months, so that might tell us that they weren't such high performers. But we can see the ad creative, we can see how it worked, we can see the landing page, we can see the campaign report. Amazing. We can drill into their TikTok ads. For example, here's a 12-second TikTok ad that they've spent $50,000 on to generate 4.8 million impressions. And we can see it's basically a user-generated UGC style video, just kind of demonstration. So what sort of insight do you get from this type of thing? Well, the thing that I like to look at is the patterns and trends in ad creative. So for example, with Huel, we can see their ads follow a very similar style, and they have done for a period of time. So that would give me the confidence to maybe take influence from that style for my campaign. Or we can have a look at the channels that they've been consistently investing in, knowing that, okay, well, if they're consistently investing in those channels, something must be working. We can have a look at the different offers that they're making in their ads. We can have a look at the landing pages that they're continually driving traffic to, because if they're continually driving traffic to them, they must be working. All of this information gives us digital advertisers so much ammunition to work with. It means that we're not starting our campaigns based on guesswork. We can start it on the successes and failures of our competitors. So if you haven't already, go and grab your free trial of Semrush at thankyouninjas.com and get your free trial of AdClarity at exposure.ninja/wow and go and get stuck in. We are so lucky to have these tools at our disposal.